Welcome to the Butterfly Effect. Today is the 2020 La Flèche Wallonne. We have had a compact season this year. A week and a half ago, the Tour de France finishing, then the World Championships, and now La Flèche Wallonne. I was surprised to see so many of the favorites really duking it out at the finish of the race. I thought maybe with so much compact racing already starting this season that the legs would start getting a little fatigued and maybe the favorites would try to be saving something for LBL coming up on this Sunday. La Flèche Wallonne is a classic. It is a fantastic race, but it is not one of the monuments like LBL. So when I woke up, saw the gap to the break and the riders there in it, I realized right away that these guys are here to win again. The favorites are here to play. Let me say, it is very difficult to do the Tour de France, World Championships, 3 days later start La Flèche Wallonne. You would think that the favorites would be saving the legs, riding it out a little bit easy at this race and saving something for LBL on Sunday. But it was not to be for the breakaway riders. As the field started the last 1.5K of the race, you got to understand the remarkable riding and positioning of Mark Hirschi. At his age, somebody has to be coaching this kid or he just woke up as Einstein, because his racing was beautiful today. With 1.5K to go, he's on the Ineos train, none other than Michael Kwiatkowski. As they start the last 900 meters, I want you to look at all of the favorites. You think they're all at the front, but you go back and look at the picture. You have Dan Martin, 33rd spot back. You have Richie Porte, 35th spot back. Richie Porte, I believe, is of 36 years of age. You got a young 22-year-old kid, Swiss kid, riding in perfect position, and you have a 35-year-old who's sitting at least 35 spots back the last 900 meters of the climb. That's how intelligent of a ride Mark Hirschi has done to put himself in a great spot. Okay, it's not easy to start the last 900 meters of the Mur de Huy in the front, out of the wind, perfect position. As they go into the last 900 meters, you'll see he's in a perfect spot. There's a little arrow right there at the front. He's sitting right in the middle right here. He has a good draft if the wind's coming from the right, a good if it's coming from the left, and of course he's got the draft of the wheel straight in front of him. Perfect position. You ask, many times I have fans ask me, Chris, how much of a draft can you possibly have on a climb? Well, this stage, this last 1.5K of this race will show you how big the draft is when I dissect what is going on here. As you see, Richie Porte comes onto the screen front and starts attacking with about 400 meters to go. But folks, he must have done a huge effort because he was never in the picture, even with 900 meters. He's 35 guys back. If we backed it up further, he's probably 50 with 1.5K to go. The amount of effort Richie Porte had done already from a K and a half to the 900 meter mark was impressive. The energy he put out had to be extraordinary. With 400 meters to go, with almost no rest, you only briefly see him near Mark Hirschi's wheel with about 500 meters to go. He probably takes a 10-second, 15-second rest there, does another acceleration from 400 meters all the way to 200 meters. That's about a 50-second effort all out there. But he has been going already for more than a kilometer of a complete 100% effort. Now, Michael Woods' attack at 200 meters to go was a little bit early, but maybe with a rider like Mark Hirschi in the group, you had to hope you catch him off guard. You didn't, because the kid has been well coached, or like I said, woke up with the tactics already embedded into the brain, because it was beautiful racing. Immediately he follows Mike Woods' attack. He's on his wheel all the way to 75 meters to go. He does his own acceleration and a hard jump to the left side of the road. No one can follow his wheel. He gets a beautiful win, his biggest of his career, a classic, one that will stay with him for the rest of his life. It's a legendary win and one that will never be forgotten amongst the fans and certainly in his own family. It's a well-deserved win. I want to also give props back to Michael Woods, who hung on for third place. Of course, the polka dot jersey wearer for the first 2 weeks of the Tour de France, Benoit Cosnefroy, he just pips Michael Woods to get second. Now I want to go back and dissect a little bit more of the climb because Mark Hirschi, I give him his props. He's going to enjoy this win. He's going to be defending champion when the race starts next year. It's a beautiful sensation. Let's go back to that 1.5K mark and understand how important the energy is that Richie Porte is expending. Okay, Richie Porte and Dan Martin are in about the same position. From the photo I'll put up here, you'll see they're both about 35th position, not quite side by side. Even Dan Martin's a little bit in front of Richie Porte. Richie Porte's acceleration to get him to the front is very exciting. When it comes to the amount of energy on the climb of who spent the most, no one can argue that Richie Porte probably put out more watts per kilo than anyone in the race and did the most aggressive racing, but neither of those get you the win. You have to cross the line first is the only guy who gets the win. That goes to Mark Hirschi, as we know. But take a look at Richie Porte's ride, starting in the same spot as Dan Martin. Dan Martin spends energy, but never in the wind, always going up through the group, and finds his way from 35th basically all the way to fifth on the stage. Richie Porte, who was basically one guy behind Dan Martin, who spent all that time in the wind, did a huge attack effort, blowing energy all over the place. He actually finishes 8th. Dan Martin finishes 5th. You got to understand when you see those results of how good of a ride that those two riders had to come from that far back. But now when you look at it and think that those guys are in their 30s and you take the winner, Mark Hirschi, how impressive of a ride, experience, patience, tactics, coaching I'm sure came into play. But wow, what a beautiful day. I hope you guys all enjoyed La Flèche Wallonne today. It was an epic, classic one going down for the books. I'm impressed with how these riders from the Tour de France have all kept their form going into the classics. It is very difficult. Hope you guys enjoyed my take on the butterfly effect today. If you like it, subscribe, and I'll see you real soon.